What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to MKE MANIACI. And today we got 20 of the best Royal Rumble surprise entrants ever from the partsFUNknown YouTube channel. Next weekend is the 36th annual Royal Rumble, man. And every single year, us as fans always look forward to the surprise entrants. Whether that be Blast from the past, maybe it might be a wrestler from another promotion, NXT call-up, or in today's regimen, maybe it's a released superstar coming back to the company, man. I expect we gonna see a little bit of all that this year at the Royal Rumble. So in this video, man, we gonna look at 20 of the best surprise entrants ever. We ain't doing no more talking, man. Let's get it.
Rumble, Rumble man. I want to be a Rumble man. Look, everyone forget last year. The Rumble's the best time of the wrestling calendar year.
Please forget last year. It was completely unnecessary. That's a video for another day.
And why do we love it so much? For all the lovely surprises. Returns from injury, calls up from NXT, beloved nostalgia pops, all the fun of the fair. Anyway, shut the hell up. There's 20 of these bastards and we're burning daylight. I'm Adam, hailing from partsFUNknown, and here are 20 best Royal Rumble surprise entrants ever. Also, there's been loads of Royal Rumble content this month. Go back and watch it, and then watch the Royal Rumble. Tell us what you thought in the comments. Please be good. Please be good. Number 20, Bob Backlund 2000. Now, I'm sure that someone out there will actually me on this, but I'm pretty sure that Bob Backlund strolling into the 2000 Royal...
This was around, I started watching, I would watch it periodically around this time. And I want to say I saw this pay-per-view. Like, my aunts were huge wrestling fans whenever they would come over. I didn't know who this was. I didn't understand, how old was I at this time? This was the year I was turning 6, so I was like 5 years old, Conscience just kicked in,
Rumble, mid-running for Congress after being out of WWE for 4 years, is one of the first ever, surprise returns in Rumble history. I think it is. I think it is, gang. Gets a monster pop too from the hardcore New York crowd, then proceeds to do, bollock all in the actual match itself, but gosh, they make a lot of noise for him. I had no idea who he was when I was a fan. Number 19.
Literally.
Lita 2018, the first surprise entrant of the first Women's Royal Rumble. Lita gets the kind of heartwarmingly large reaction you'd expect from a legend last seen wrestling on pay-per-view back in 2006 before Crime Time came out to sell her dildo for $25 and not a word of that sentence is a lie. Sure, she almost killed Sasha and Becky with the Lita salt, but...
Crime Time was some menaces, man. But yeah, Lita, that pop that she got in 2018, the first ever Women's Royal Rumble, was well-deserved, man. Lita...
Not a word of that sentence is a lie. Sure, she almost killed Sasha and Becky with the Lita salt, but it's still good. Still good. Number 18, Hacksaw Jim Duggan 2009. Oh! Ridiculous. The first official winner of a Royal Rumble likes to pop in now and again to shout ho, wave a stick around, and remind everyone that they're in America. He's done it a bunch of times, but by far the best one was in 2009 where he turned up, no top on lad, fair to you, and the crowd went mental for him, roaring along with the insane bus stop grandpa. 17, Goldust 2013. The closest that WWE ever came to doing Cody versus Dustin properly, a feud they kept either ignoring or f***ing up. But don't worry, no good matches ever came from Cody versus Dustin. Oh wait, monster pop for Goldust this, who was making his checks notes 5th return to the company, but was also in the best shape of his life. So much so that he stuck with the company for years after.
Just need one more Goldust run. Will we see him in this year's Royal Rumble? I don't know. Is he still under contract with AEW? Cody Rhodes already announced it last night on Raw that he's going to be in the Rumble. So we might see low-key. I don't know. One more WWE run and Goldust.
16, Mr. Perfect 2002. Man, I wish when I first started watching wrestling that I knew Mr. Perfect was, because I would have lost my tiny mind watching him return to 2002 Royal Rumble.
Now, I didn't see this Royal Rumble on pay-per-view. But like I said, at this time I was a child. I didn't know who Mr. Perfect was. I just saw this guy, come on, man. He used to put the towel around his back, catch it effortlessly. Did everything just so fluidly. I'm like, who is this guy? I low-key thought he was a new guy. But, I didn't, after he passed and I found out, really who he was, I was like, oh, okay. former Intercontinental Champion. Okay, a part of this family. You know, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I didn't know who Mr. Perfect was.
Hennig strolled in with the same swagger and lasted to the final 3 before getting eliminated by Triple H, and shame about the rest of his short run in the company afterwards. Number 15, Christian, 2021. This would rank so much higher if Christian actually returned in front of a live crowd. He hadn't been seen in ring for 7 years since he retired to protect his lovely brain, made his return at the 2021 Royal Rumble, had a lovely cuddle with his brother and boyfriend Edge, something that would have been tear-inducingly nice if there had been more than gifts for fans in attendance. Also, lol, he immediately went to AEW afterwards. Number 14, Diesel, 2011.
2011 had a lot of surprises.
The gap between how happy fans were to see someone and how little they actually ended up doing has never been larger than Diesel's return at the 2011 Rumble. Holy shit. People were happy to see the worst WWE champion of all time getting the kind of monster pop that makes the Rumble so special. Look at Kofi's face. There are thunderous Let's Go Diesel chants, the kind that the company never heard in 1995.
I'm not gonna lie, you know, Kevin Nash, he actually had a pretty good run in 2011. When he came back, it was actually, you know, WWE was, I'll say it, you know, it was one of their best PG years ever. 2011 was a very good year for WWE.
And he walks around, punches some people before being eliminated by Wade Barrett, I guess. Bye-bye. Number 13, Rob Van Dam, 2009. Nothing complements a shocking Rumble return than JR screaming, "It can't be!" It's just not the same when Michael Cole shouts, "Oh my." In 2009, after 2 years away, Ronald Van Donald returned for one night only before immediately heading back to the Indies. He arrived, got a monster pop, delivered all his signature offense, didn't do a whole lot of important stuff, but everyone was very happy. Story of RVD's post-2006 WWE career, to be honest.
And it's like RVD, I've always looked at him as a guy. I mean, now I don't know how well he can move in the ring now, but it's like, yeah, after he left WWE, ECW at that time, you know, he came back 2009. Y'all remember, what was it, 2013 when he was back? And it's like, you know, RVD can still go. I mean, I would love to see just one more. Maybe just one more. I don't know how well he can move still, but just one more RVD run.
And speaking of ECW, number 12, Bubba Ray Dudley, 2015. A fact that often goes unremembered. Before Daniel Bryan was eliminated, the 2015 Royal Rumble was really good. Bray Wyatt got to conduct a sermon, interact with the Boogeyman, which was brief and fun. DDP had a fun return too, but best of all, Bubba Ray Dudley returned for one night, and he was greeted with such rapturous ovation that him and Devon both got a nostalgia run later that year. And it was also very funny to see Bubba Ray run through all the signature Dudley spots with just the closest black guy he could find. Philly really liked this one before they really didn't like everything else. Number 11, Rey Mysterio, 2018. God, the 2018 Royal Rumble was mint. Genuinely one of the greatest of all time due to its clever structure, solid through lines, and blistering final stretch.
Although the 2018 Royal Rumble had to have been the most predictable, you know, we knew Shinsuke was going to win it. It was very entertaining. It was a very entertaining Royal Rumble.
The roster being quite deep at the time, unlike the women's roster, there were not many returns here. Hurricane swung by to say hello, but more importantly, Rey Mysterio arriving to a much nicer ovation in his last Rumble in 2014.
Yeah.
And in the shape of his life, returning to the company after a spell in Lucha Underground, he looked great, still wrestled like a whippet, and contributed to the Ace old versus new narrative of the final 6. Number 10, Tye Dillinger, 2017. Very occasionally, you want WWE to do the thing, and WWE actually does the thing, so you say, yay, they did the thing. I like it when that happens, and in 2017, which is not actually a good Rumble year despite the megastars involved, they did the thing. Tye Dillinger, a man who got super over in NXT by being obsessed with the number 10, got called up and entered the Rumble at number 10, one of the few times that main roster WWE actually seemed to understand.
Now, this time at NXT was like, they were stacked. Like NXT, I feel like NXT takeovers were at their peak at this point. Like, man, I was looking forward to every single takeover. No, don't get me wrong. You know, nowadays NXT, you know, it is what it is. But, I mean, I actually enjoy it. But compared to this time, oh, man. The stars that were being created at this time. Can you imagine if Triple H had complete control over the company like he does now, creative-wise? Aleister Black, Adam Cole, Tye Dillinger, Tyler Breeze, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Authors of Pain, bro, like we would have had so many more success stories. The Revival, we would have had so many more success stories coming out of NXT, man. But you know, Tye Dillinger coming in at the perfect number 10, yeah,
the NXT prospect they had on their hands. Heartwarming, fun, and funny. Number 9, Booker T, 2011.
This
This
2011
return
had
is
a
both
lot.
beautiful.
This was my favorite return in that Rumble, man. Seeing Booker T, bro, I was so happy.
Terrible. Beautiful because Booker T, after 4 years away, gets a humongous pop, does all his moves to the fans, prolapsing themselves in joy, looks great, gets eliminated at the right time to put heat on the heel faction running the Rumble. Pretty much perfect in terms of a nostalgia return. Kinda could have done without Matt Striker shouting, "It's a mark out moment, I'm marking out, bro," on commentary, and repeatedly clapping into a live mic. That's not Booker T's fault, I suppose. Number 8, Trish Stratus, 2018. The first ever number 30 in the first ever Women's Rumble for the first ever women in WWE was reserved for a very special guest, the Doctor of Stratusfactology. It's always nice to see Trish Stratus. She's unironically beloved by all, although this return does rank slightly lower for the baffling decision to not have her and Lita share the ring at the same f***ing time. Her interaction with Mickie James was truly lovely, though. Number 7.
I'm telling you, Mickie and Trish. Oh, man. When I tell you I had the biggest crush on Mickie James back in 06, when she was doing the whole obsessive fan and she had the mistletoe and Trish was in the shower, I was like, bro, I could not wait to tune in to Raw every Monday, strictly just for Trish and Mickie, though. But yeah, Trish Stratus and Lita, I do honestly expect them to be in this year's Royal Rumble. I kind of expect it's kind of a given at this point. You know, the women roster is not as deep as the men's roster, so we need some, you know, big star power names like this, you know, at least for the next 7 years.
King time. Her interaction with Mickie James was truly lovely, though. Number 7, Chris Jericho, 2013. A major Royal Rumble surprise return. That was actually a surprise. Delightful. With the plethora of wrestling news that exists, it's very hard to have a major Royal Rumble return happen without it being hinted at by the wrestling media. Y2J thought, sod that, and shocked everyone. 6 months after Dolph Ziggler ran him out of WWE like Armin Tamzarian, after Dolph walked in at number 1, Jericho returned at number 2, and no one knew it was coming. Lovely stuff.
Kind of a lackluster run for Jericho that year. I mean, the guy went on to face Fandango at WrestleMania. Fandango at WrestleMania. 10 years prior, faced Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania. But 10 years later, faced Fandango at WrestleMania. But yeah, no one saw Jericho coming back, though. I didn't see it coming. And I read the dirt sheets all the time. But I still stand by Chris Jericho and Kurt Angle, 2 of the best to have never won a Royal Rumble match.
Number 6, Mick Foley, 2004.
Yes.
In 2003, Randy Orton adopted the gimmick that truly made him the Legend Killer gimmick. One of the legends killed was Mick Foley, whom Randall punted down the stairs and essentially drove out the company, which made Foley's return at the 2004 Rumble all the sweeter. Orton had been in the ring for half an hour when Foley banned Jack's test backstage, took his spot, and immediately wrecked Randy, kamikazing himself and Randall out of the ring. It is an awesome payoff. Number 5.
And they had the greatest rivalry, one of the greatest rivalries of 2004. You know, I enjoyed just all the extreme matches. The WrestleMania match was very nostalgic alongside the Rock Evolution. But yeah, Randy and Mick Foley. Foley definitely made Randy Orton that star. I feel like if we look at Randy Orton's career, if it wasn't for Foley, Randy Orton's career, I'll give credit to Mick Foley, Triple H, and Undertaker for turning Randy Orton into that star. Because all 3 of them very pivotal points of Randy's career that made him who he is today, man. So yeah, Mick Foley is where it started. Man.
5. The 3 Faces of Foley, 1998. And sticking with Mrs. Foley's baby boy for a moment, the 1998 Rumble is a bit crap. It has some moments. Owen Hart and Jeff Jarrett do some fun stuff, and the Rumble accomplishes some important things. The Rock as the match's Iron Man, but it's crammed full of mid-carders who never win this thing in a million years, making it feel very safe.
Bro, is this
Iron Man, but it's crammed full of...
Who is this? What outfit is this?
Of mid-carders who never win this thing in a million years, making it feel very samey throughout. JR spends the entire Rumble asking when Austin's gonna show up. You know, like he's f***ing Poochie. The one treasured memory, though, Mick Foley wearing all 3 faces of Cactus Jack at number 1, Mankind at number 16, and Dude Love at number 28. All of them appearing throughout the match. It is very sweet.
Now, I would have loved for them to do something similar with Bray Wyatt. You know, have him come out as Bray Wyatt. Have him come out as The Fiend. Have him come out. Have Uncle Howdy come out. You know, I was kind of expecting that, but the roster is so deep right now. It's so deep right now. You can't do it. You can't do it.
For Keith Lee,
yes.
2020. This one's just for me. But it's also a wonderful moment. Definitely the best NXT Rumble call-up. Well, maybe Shayna Baszler earlier that night, but that wasn't really a surprise. She was heavily tipped to win the thing. This was a joyous shock. North American champion Keith Lee striding into the Royal Rumble to stand face-to-face with an infatuated Brock Lesnar and punking his Minnesotan ass out. Oh, it's my favorite thing. Number 3, AJ Styles, 2016. Unlike Jericho's 2013 return, everyone kind of knew that AJ Styles would probably, possibly, maybe be headed towards WWE.
I just remember because at this time, the rumors started circulating. I'm like, yeah, there's no way. AJ Styles and WWE, that's not going to happen. That will never happen. AJ Styles would probably rather wrestle in New Japan. He'll probably go back to Impact. You know, but then again, there was rumors like, he's there. He's signed. He's already signed. I didn't believe it until, I didn't, honestly, I think I was so skeptical about it until he came out at that number 3 spot. And I was like, oh, they weren't lying.
He strenuously denied it every time, but even so, people thought, oh, maybe he'll go to NXT. Maybe he'll be in the Rumble, but probably not. Vince hates TNA guys after all. Boom. Nope. He's in at number 3. Number fucking 3. Sure, they f***ed up the camera angle, thanks Kev, but Styles walked into WWE to immediately square up to WWE Champion Roman Reigns, and it was a wonderful, uncanny surprise. Number 2, Edge. Both of them. 2 all-time great returns, 10 years apart. In 2010, after...
And it's crazy because y'all gonna think I'm a weird type of fan. I'm always the type, I always like looking back 10 years. I always like reflecting back 10 years. Like 10 years ago from this Royal Rumble, The Rock won the WWE Championship. 10 years later, The Rock could win the Royal Rumble. 10 years later. But the special thing about Edge's 2010 return was he got injured. And I remember that the Rumble was stacked. We had the storyline with Shawn Michaels. You know, Shawn Michaels was near the end of his career. He wanted to main event WrestleMania one more time. Triple H was in it. We had Cena in it. We had Jericho in it. It was low key a pretty stacked Rumble for the most part. A lot of main event players in it. But I remember at that time the rumors Edge was coming back at the Rumble. Now I thought Edge's injury was a lot more serious, so I didn't expect him back. But when he came back, man, it was crazy. And then 2020, coming back from a career-ending injury to also win it. 10 years apart, man. Like, come on, man. That's storytelling. Storytelling right there.
Being on the shelf for 6 months, Edge returned, speared everyone, came face-to-face with his former tag partner before ousting them from the match. 10 years later, after being on the shelf for 9 years, Edge returned, speared everyone, came face-to-face with his former tag partner before ousting them from the match. On both occasions, the fans went mental, and it became an instant classic Rumble moment. However, you could argue that fans guessed both returns were coming, unlike number 1, John Cena, 2008. The quintessential Rumble return.
I did not see this one coming. I remember when Cena got injured October 2017, a week before No Mercy, 07. October 07. I don't know why if I say 17. October 07. The week before No Mercy, they was talking about John Cena was going to be out for 9 months. I'm like, so John Cena has to miss WrestleMania. I thought I would have put all of my piggy bank change at this time on Triple H winning the Royal Rumble. It was set up like there was no way Triple H wasn't going to win the 2008 Royal Rumble. He returned at SummerSlam. He could get retribution on Randy Orton. He has history with Randy Orton. I thought for sure I would have bet everything on Triple H winning this Rumble. I did not expect Cena. And when it was Cena, when I tell you I've never marked out in my entire life that way, listen, this one takes the cake.
top guy in the company at number 30, returning months before anyone could have expected, surprising every single person in that building. Hell, it was so shocking that John Cena drew a rapturous pop out of the Madison Square Garden crowd, the hardcore New York fans who hated him all the time and still lost their collective mind. It's still the best return of all time, and one of the reasons why you can never rule out anything when it comes to the Royal Rumble. Fight me. And that's our list. What's your favorite Royal Rumble surprise?
John
Let us know.
Cena has to take the cake for it, man. I'm excited to see what they come with this year, man. You know, WrestleMania Hollywood on the horizon. Triple H's first ever fully creative control Royal Rumble, leading up to his first ever fully creative WrestleMania. So I expect something big this year. Some big surprises, man. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button for me for more wrestling related content. And until the next video, I'll see y'all then. Thank you for watching MKE MANIACI. I'm out.